Battle for the Planet of the Apes would serve as the final movie in the original Planet of the Apes series, and this would be the last Planet of the Apes movie for just about 3 decades, 28 years to be specific. This movie has not received a good reputation over the years. I've seen more ardent defenders for Beneath the Planet of the Apes rather than for Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And honestly, yeah, this movie is not great. I can't remember exactly if I said that this was the weakest of the original series or if Beneath the Planet of the Apes was, but if I said it was Beneath, I humbly apologize because Battle for the Planet of the Apes is definitely the weakest of the series. It's not bad per se, but it's not great either. Paul Den, the man responsible for screenwriting from Escape all the way up to Battle, was asked to do Battle for the screenwriting position, but he had to depart due to health concerns. He did have a structure in place, and so Fox brought in the husband and wife Portington screenwriting team to basically fill in the finer details. It was later revealed that they had never written a sci-fi movie before, and they had never seen any of the Ape movies previously. Doesn't that sound like a recipe for success? It was allegedly so bad that Paul Dent was re-invited back onto the movie to rewrite the entire script almost, so much so that it came out to about 90% of the original meat of the movie that was come up by the Cordingtons was scrapped. 90%. Even the Flash movie from last year is looking at that and going, yeah, even we weren't rewritten that much. Also, Fox had to meddle with it, including slashing its budget again to around the same as what it was for Conquest. The movie was shot on the Fox Movie Ranch, and it really shows. But because the movie being Conquest of the Planet of the Apes was PG and the implied violence therein, Fox received some complaints, and so it was mandated that Battle for the Planet of the Apes had to be G once again, which meant that this was far tamer than what Conquest had to offer. I later learned in my research that there is an entire extended cut of Battle for the Planet of the Apes that was only shown in TV syndication. It even included a scene where ape children and human children were fighting, but instead the ending was replaced by a memorial of sort for Caesar, with a statue of Caesar with a single tear rolling down his cheek. Miss Cordington would later say that the ending made her sick to her stomach. So this movie pretty much had no chance. I don't think this is necessarily a bad movie, but this movie's biggest crime is that it is a mess. Full stop. You can really tell that multiple people were writing this, and not all of it is cohesive. Honestly, what I'm going to be talking about Monday, the Planet of the Apes remake with Jacob Collins, that was somehow more cohesive than this movie, and that movie had extensive rewrites as well. Battle somehow feels more disjointed than the one Planet of the Apes movie that everybody hates. I know I probably can't take that back, and I don't want to. Main cast of characters including Roddy McDowall, Paul Williams, and Austin Stoker, who is taking over for Harry Rhodes as McDonald's brother from Conquest. Those three together were the best parts of the movie. They have several scenes where they wander into the Forbidden City, which was destroyed by a nuclear war. Yeah, a nuclear war happens in between Conquest and Battle for the Planet of the Apes. I figured I'd bring that up. But when they're exploring the city together, that was the best part of the movie. The rest of the time, it just felt like a bit of a slog. There's stuff going on with Caesar having a child, and the child dies, and there's Aldo, the general, who is like, humans, we need to have him under our thumb, when there's a whole tenuous peace thing. It just, bleh. It just feels like 3 or 4 movies crammed into one 90-minute joint, and it shows. So everything from it being really tame, a bit of a mess, and the fact that really just you look into it and you just go, this was almost set up for failure. I mean, yeah, I just feel low-key kind of sorry for this one because there are good ideas here, And honestly, those ideas would be better realized in other Apes movies. Like literally, the tenuous human relationship that we see in this movie was done way better in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but that's going to be a little later on next month. But compelling ideas and good acting can only do you so much. This movie is pretty forgettable. If I did say Beneath was the worst of the original series, I humbly take back that statement. Battle for the Planet of the Apes is the worst of the series, of the original series, by a significant lot. It is not a horrible movie. It is well made considering the small budget and the fact that they basically were confined to the Fox movie ranch and asked to make it work. Despite literally everything that happened with the script and everything involved, the fact that it is somewhat competent or at least aiming for it, I think is admirable. What did you all think of Battle for the Planet of the Apes? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And stay tuned for Monday, where Jacob Collins from 3D Movie Cinema will be joining me to review the reimagining of Planet of the Apes from 2001.